took a hold of her.
Good evening, everyone. How's it going? My name is Zak Clayton, Community Pay It Forward, Community Dare to Care, and the pACT channels. As we mentioned, as we aforementioned before we came live, various conversations going to be happening on this show. I like to think that most of our conversations are serious. I like to think that there's a lot of lightheartedness going along with them, but this one's pretty serious. Okay, we are talking about domestic violence and domestic abuse. We want to make sure that people are understanding some of the things that they need to look for. I found out something the other day. If you go to certain garages here in Greeley, that's Weld County Garage, someone can have them ask them to check their car for tracking devices. Didn't know this. Partly because it's hard for me to imagine that a woman, anybody, okay, not just a woman, I don't want to do that, that anybody would have to check for tracking devices. Is that naive of me? Possibly yes. Probably yes. But I had a really, really good friend who came to me and had a conversation with me and said I had to go to Weld County Garage and they found 2 tracking devices on my car, and my jaw just about dropped. I was unbelievably shocked. I just could not believe it. So, hey, I want to give a huge shout out to some really good friends of mine. Another cool creation, and another color creation. Sorry about that. Another color creation. They surprised me today by dropping off this wonderful T-shirt. Proud father of the WUW Eurasian Championship 2024 with my name on the back, which is awesome. Once again, this is about my oldest boy, Free Zakson, winning the WUW Eurasian Heavyweight Championship. So proud of him. Just as proud of him for all the work he's doing with kids. I'm going to tell you something. I got to watch him react with the kids after that victory, and I could not be more proud than when I was doing that. So thank you to Another Color Creation for the shirt. I appreciate it. And I do appreciate it. I hope to talk to you all soon. Again, we are going to be talking, the first interview we're doing is with Deborah McPherson, and I want to reiterate, if this triggers you in any way, ladies and gentlemen, if you're in a situation when you need it, the phone number you see right now on the bottom of your screen, 1-800-799-7233. Once again, 800-799-7233. That is the National Domestic Violence Hotline. 800-799-7233. Sorry, 7233. If you need help. We told this to my friend yesterday, and I'm telling you right now, I fully believe this. It may be tough to go out and find someone to help. It may be embarrassing. But in my eyes, it shows that you are a much tougher person walking away. And the one thing that we know for sure you're a hell of a lot safer. This first story with Deb, I'm pretty sure she'll agree with me because she stayed in a situation and it damn near killed her. Damn near got her killed. I want to thank our sponsors. I want to thank Jelly Schultz, a disruptor and serial entrepreneur, which is such a hard 2 words to put together. Author and motivational speaker, Jill's mission is to help release people from shame. Her own experience of experimenting with other children when she was a child, herself, because of her own sexual trauma, has led her to speak out on this taboo topic. She helps anybody who has a secret or has felt shame to overcome that shame, because you know what? You were in a bad situation. We all make mistakes. We all do things that we shouldn't do. We've all, the difference between a lot of criminals and, people who are incarcerated and us, well, they got caught doing what they shouldn't be doing. I also want to give a huge thank to Mr. Robert Heath Sr. At the Legacy Leadership Consulting Group. He is teaching love and responsibility. Business owners how to successfully apply the right strategies in the right order that allows them to grow their businesses to maximum capacity. As he learned development with over 20 years of experience, he built transformative programs, developing effective learning strategies and utilizing instructional designs. I need to learn how to read, apparently, to close performance gaps. He implements global learning programs and leverages technology to increase retention and drive adaptation. I also want to thank, of course, my other sponsors. You got Z World Webs, Rider Justice. One of the newer ones that we've got to the program is this lovely company here, which they ask you to live life free. You Are My Light Foundation. They implement rescued victims of human trafficking, sex, and labor slavery with their God-given rights, life, freedom, education, and autonomy. Again, this is not a show today for the lighthearted. This is not a show that there's going to be a lot of joking around. This is not a show that just not a show that we're going to walk back from and go, man, I couldn't stop laughing. It's just not going to happen. But hopefully, when you walk away from this show, you are going to say, I learned a lot. I can't believe this is going on, and I need to step up and step out. Again, if you are triggered in any way, 1-800-799-7233. 1-800-799-7233. If you need someone to call for you, give us a call. 970-909-0751. 970-909-0751. We'll try to come up with a code. We'll make it like you're trying to order a pizza or whatever. You give us your address and we'll call the cops for you. But when we get back, I'm going to be proud to reintroduce you to my friend, Deb McPherson. But first, hey folks, we are proud to be teaming with this wonderful pet organization. I know there's you lunatics out there that love to decorate your dog. I know this because my parents are those lunatics. Actually, I'm joking. I've ordered the ties for my dogs. So just to let you know, Yes, I'm one of those lunatics too. But if you're looking for pet supplies, support small business. And when you support small business, like Give So Good, you can give back to an organization that you choose. And at the same time, I met our guest for this evening. And when she told, when she got up and she gave her speech on what she did, I was immediately captivated because it was something along the lines of what we like to do here, which is helping others. And then she told me her story. And I was like, well, I used adult words, let's put it that way. I was like, oh my God, but they were stronger words than that. And I knew that I wanted to get her on here because what she's done with her story is flat out amazing. She wants to make sure that you, your company, and your employees are safe, are comfortable, and love working for you while you're being compliant with state rules. I'd like to introduce everyone to my guest, to my friend from Deb McPhee Coaching, Deb McPhee. How are you doing?
Hi, thank you for inviting me on tonight.
Well, we had you on a couple weeks ago on Footprints Forward, but I really wanted to get you back on here because we really want to take and you and I are going to be announcing here in a little bit a special offer that we've got for people to come in and just get their feet wet on what you do. But I really wanted to get your story and McPhee Coaching. I wanted to get that in front of people because what you're doing is so valuable, and the way that things are in the business world, and some of the uncomfortable things that happen in the business world. I think that what you do is very important for owners to say, hey, there is somebody we can talk to about this. There is a way that we can make sure that we protect ourselves, and we make sure that we create just an atmosphere of caring and support. So can you tell us a little bit? We're actually gonna start with the good stuff here. Let's talk about McPhee Coaching.
Okay. Well, McPhee Coaching was born out of COVID, just as so many of us. I spent most of my life as a medical rep. And when COVID came, the reps were not allowed to go hospital to hospital or doctor's office to doctor's office because they said we were bringing the germs from one place to the next. So we were all home. And at the same time, the state, I live in Chicago, so the state of Illinois mandated sexual harassment prevention training. So I called the Capitol and I said, what do I have to do this? I think I'm qualified. So it just so happens I was already a domestic violence advocate for 20 years. I was already a sexual assault crisis intervention person for 20 years. And I have a master's degree in business and corporate education. So when I explained all this to them, oh my God, everybody needs this and nobody's qualified to teach it. Right there, open the company, and that's what I've been doing for a couple of years now. So
your main purpose is one for the business themselves, and it's for the business owners to really protect themselves over all of this because but it's also an education to people. So hey, don't put yourself in a room with a person and shut the door and open yourself. Don't fall into that trap, right?
First, yes. My company, it's my job. I'm an advocate for the business owner. It's my job to protect business owners, keep them out of court, keep them from being sued. I I do everything before the lawyers get involved. When I'm involved, there's usually not a lawyer involved. It never escalates. So that's the purpose of my company, what I get paid to do. Now there's also there's the women. I will never ever take money from a woman in crisis. Somebody calls me up and says, I'm trying to leave my abuser. Oh, give me $100, I'll help you. No, I can move somebody out in under 90 minutes. I've done it 4 times. I've moved women out of their house in under 90 minutes. So that's I do from my heart, my volunteer, my women help women, and we get stuff done. But my business and my money, my income comes from business owners because I have got programs with Salus Training Systems. I've got systems that we put in place within your office that prevent and reduce office drama. No drama, no lawyers.
Yep. Deb, I think that's one of the reasons why you and I really, when you were talking about helping women and getting them out of a situation in under 90 minutes, I think that's one of the reasons why you and I really struck a friendship there. I think that's a good part because you said it. This isn't a thing where you go, you know what? We can get you out of your house in less than 90 minutes for $9.99 plus shipping and handling, and then you pay for the gas and all this other stuff. No, that's not what you say. You say, you know what? You got stuff going. Let's get you out. Let's go. Let's
right. And there's certain ways to.
Yeah, and that's so important that you don't think about the money. You don't worry about the money. You think about the person. And that is so missing in a lot of things today.
Mm-hmm. Right. Thanksgiving morning, I was on the phone for 2 hours trying to find a bed at a women's shelter for this woman who was trying to get out with her baby before her, I don't think they were married, baby daddy started drinking, got drunk, and came. I said, he's coming back for you. He's going to get drunk and come back for you. So we were trying to get her out. And it's like, even my husband was saying, let's just go get her. I said, it's not that simple. You can't do that. So there's specific ways that the state mandates that you do things, and you follow protocol just to keep people safe.
What do you let's just, this is something that I was just kind of thinking of, because you're right. I mean, one of the last things in the world you want to do is put yourself into a situation where you're dealing with a child and a paternal parent comes out and finds out that everything's gone, and they're going to come after you for kidnapping their child,
right.
For removing the child from the home. So, I mean, there is a lot of things that, we all have. Every once in a while, all of us have that superhero complex where we want to take and get in and get stuff done, move people out, but you really got to be careful about what you do. You don't want to step in anybody's rights, but you don't want them to be with an abuser also.
Right.
So, but what are some of the things that, say somebody's in your situation, Deb, and somebody hears about somebody in a bad situation and they want to help? What is the first thing they should do?
Well, if you're in any kind of crisis, you call the hotline. You call the 911 Women's Shelter Hotline. They're going to help you more than I ever could. What women can do is rally, help you pack, help you hold a baby while somebody else packs. There's lots you can do as friends and neighbors. But there is protocol. So if you are in a real crisis and you think somebody is coming for you or has already abused you, you call the 911 shelter or the women's shelter, the local women's shelter.
Well, you and I, we should have talked about this off air, but I'm going to talk about it on air with you because I think actually it'll take and help us as well. And this is a message to everyone out there as well. If you are ever in a situation where you're looking for a bed or you're looking for anything like that, we ask, please give us a call, because we can put we can throw our feelers out there and say, hey, we have community helpers on Facebook, and we have built that page to try to get it to where, people can go on there and say, hey, I'm in need of this. And it's a, no sales site. It's, if you have something, put it on there that, I have a dresser, I have a bed, it's in good shape. And, so please, if if you're ever in need of something, let us know, and we'll also try to put that out there and help you out. But please, everybody, it's on Facebook. Just go to Community Helpers, and you can look it up and join the page. And if you have something to help, we always end the show by saying, if you have an extra hoodie, you're not wearing it no more, don't put it in a yard sale. Give it to somebody in the community who's dealing with the elements. This is kind of the same thing. You know, if you got an extra box of Cheerios, get it to a family who needs Cheerios. Don't just, throw it in the trash. So, Deb, what are some of the things that McPherson Coaching offers to the business themselves?
Okay, well, sexual harassment prevention training is now mandated in 8 states. Okay, there's also mandated reporter training in place. There's bias training and domestic violence training. I have about 6 classes that are kind of high volume that everybody needs. So I kind of have different levels of customers. Some business owners say, I've had the same 6 employees for 10 years. Okay, there's no drama in that office. Take your class, be compliant, call me if you need me. Other offices, let's say bigger companies, or a lot of my clients are doctors, and they have group practices where they have 6, 7, 12, 15 locations. So the owner can't possibly know every single employee other than that's the employee that works at that office. So you don't know. So that's where, it's not like you have, I've got 5 employees, I eat lunch with them every day. I know them, they know me, and there's no drama. When you get to 50, 60, even 20 people, there's no way as business owner you can know all of your employees. You don't know if somebody, domestic violence is 1 in 3 women. So if you have a bunch of women at your office, you may have a few of them that are not having such a good time at home. Women that are suffering from domestic violence at home is suck the productivity. You lose money. I don't know the exact number per year of what money is lost, but production money is lost if you have employees that are suffering from domestic violence at home. So it's important that you know that. If one of your employees has to have a restraining order against her husband or boyfriend, you should know that. I mean, this is when the crazy boyfriend walks in the front door and starts shooting everybody. So, and if you have a business where the door is unlocked, if you're open to the public, you're not going to lock your door, right? So these are things that you should know about. You can always call the police and say, hey, we got one of my employees has got a PO, protection order or restraining order on her boyfriend, and we're all going to leave at 5:15. Can you send a squad over? Most towns will send a squad over just to sit in front of your office, let everybody get in their car safely and go home, because if she's got a stalker, he's there waiting for her to leave work. So
some of the situations as a business owner that I think that it would be, and if I'm wrong about this, please correct me, but some of the situations I really think would be very important to get this, regardless on if it's mandated or not. But one would be if you have young employees, because as kids, we don't exactly know how to act like an adult. We're still kind of used to that, well, I pull the girl's hair because I like her, but she thinks I'm being mean to her and it's cute. Ha ha ha. They're still in that mode, and it's not acceptable. And also companies with a heavy turnover, because you're always introducing new people into new areas. Is that right?
That's correct. And this is also breeding a new type of criminal. There's a type of woman who's going to place herself in your business as an employee or a customer, and she's going to instigate inappropriate behavior. And as soon as it's reciprocated, boom, she's going to file, because she knows you're not going to go to court for 5 years. You're going to write a quick check for $20,000 to make it go away.
And this is where we were talking about the office thing. Don't shut yourself in an office alone with anyone. Forget just females. Don't shut yourself alone with anyone.
Cameras go everywhere. Camera in the lunchroom, in the hallway, the waiting room, and I have a lot of doctor's offices. So you want a camera in the waiting room, camera in all the ops. That gets a little tricky if it's a doctor's office and they have to take their clothes off, you got to get real creative with that. But the dental offices, dental hygienists file the most claims. They're alone in the room with the patient and get inappropriately touched the most. So, for instance, you may have a young dental hygienist cleaning her teeth. Oh, patient Joe is coming in. I can't stand when he comes in. He always accidentally, oops, sorry, accident. And then, so what happens is that she's either going to call in sick because she doesn't want to deal with him that day. So now you're down an employee, or she muddles through the appointment, puts up with the abuse. She's not going to tell the business owner because she doesn't want to cause trouble. She doesn't want to lose her job. But then she goes home and just fumes on it. And then she gets on Facebook, and we know all those angry Me Too ladies on Facebook. And then somebody's going to give her the phone number for the EEOC, and she's going to put a claim against the guy grabbing her butt. And then Tuesday morning, the doctor walks in and he's got a claim against him. Yeah. Oh, I'm sorry, doc. I didn't mean to. Right? But it's the business owner that burdens the financial. You have to hire a lawyer. Now you have to go to court. There's 3 years of mess that you knew nothing about.
Yeah, and like you said, this is a situation where, you're not going to be able to go to court for 5 years. Not unless you're independently or very successful and wealthy. Mm-hmm. So, this is a situation you can protect yourself if somebody comes in and says, hey, we've got a report of here's the tape, go on ahead, take a look at it, tell me what I did wrong.
Right. So you want to be the type of boss, first of all, that your employees are going to come to you with their problems. If they're afraid of you, or they think you're crabby or mean or whatever, they're not going to tell you. And then all of a sudden you have a claim against you because you own the business. The business owner, the umbrella, everything that happens to all the employees, all the patients, customers, and guests meaning the UPS man that happens to be in the building if something happens, okay, all falls under the owner's umbrella. The business owner is responsible for all of that, and a lot of them don't understand that. Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of transparency that has to happen with everyone when it comes to this, right? We'll take the shooting that happened, I believe, in Maine just recently, where a guy went to go look for his girlfriend, his recently estranged girlfriend, and he went to 2 different locations and started shooting people up. This is one of the reasons why you really need to make sure that you are clear with your boss so they can take these steps and protect not just you, but the people that you work with. Nobody wants to take their drama into work and ruin everybody's day. You can get a hell of a lot worse than just ruining someone's day if you don't do this carefully, right?
Mm-hmm. I had one of my clients in Chicago. They were in a strip mall in Chicago, and I said, everybody walk out together. The doctor thought he was doing a service. Everybody cleans up and waits in the waiting room, and they all walk out together, and he stands there and watches everybody get in the car. Okay, good boss, right? Well, they're all in the waiting room. I don't want to say her name. Where is she? A little 23-year-old assistant was in the alley dumping the garbage, and she was getting sexually assaulted in the alley, because sexual assault is very seldom random. You're being watched. So the guy that did it to her worked like 3 doors down, and he knew that she was in the alley dumping the garbage every day at 10 after 5. So he knew the opportunity was there. He knew she was out there alone. Right? So she didn't want to make a report, and that's her choice. But then, like the girl's father went to fight with the doc. Every day you woke up, it just got worse. So it just different layers and layers. So this guy thought he was doing a great job walking all of his employees to the car, but not realizing that the one employee was in the alley all by herself. So nobody ever empties garbage alone, not even if you're 2:00 in the afternoon. I don't care. One person stands at the door with the phone, the other one runs the bag over to the dumpster. That's how don't ever go in an alley alone now. So.
Yeah, that's just a terrible story. It really is. Hey, I would like to take a real quick break right now, and I want to introduce everyone to my buddy. You guys hear me talking about him all the time. He's the gentleman who created my website, and he's ready to create yours. If you go to Mr. Z and you have him create your website, and you tell him, hey, I came from Community Pay It Forward, you can tell him that, you know what, I am in support of programs like other programs out there, like what Deb does, that is there to help other people. We've got what are called mission partners. You guys see all the mission partners all the time. Martyred Angels, Project Die Hard, Marie Barney Boston, all these. And all you have to do is you get your website done with Mr. Z, and you choose who you want money to go to. Kind of funny that such an elegant kind of funny that such an elegant, nice, and slow and peaceful, music on that. But then you come back to me. Deb, one of the things that you like doing, and one of the things that you've released, in which we will tag this form to this video as soon as we're done with it. So you'll be able to take and look at this video and download this video yourself. But you're looking for chances to become guest speakers.
Yes. I started this company in Chicago, and for the first year, it was just me running around Chicago, and I've quickly gained national popularity. So now I go all over the place. So if you do have an organization and you need somebody to speak about sexual harassment or violence at work, workplace violence, that would be great. Thank you.
Yeah. Now we need to get into the why.
Yeah.
And this is a horrible, horrible story. And I can never, every time that you tell this story, my heart hurts for you. But you built something great out of it. So why don't you go ahead and please tell us this story?
Okay. I was a young single mother. I was 32 years old with 3 kids under 10. And that's, so when you're a single mom, your life is all about your children. You get, children, this, that. Okay. So by the time I was 40, I got married for the second time. And I thought I waited enough time between marriages. I thought I picked a good partner, and I married a con man after money and children. So I lived with this man just literally a couple months, couple weeks, and he crossed the line with my 13-year-old daughter. So as a mother bear, you did whatever you needed to do to keep your children safe. You changed the locks, got an order of protection, filed for divorce. I had him arrested, and check. So what we know now that we didn't know 20 years ago is that when abusers can no longer control you, that's when they come to kill you. 3 women a day in the United States are killed by intimate partner violence. So this man went into the west side of Chicago and hired 2 drug dealers to kill me. So I was kidnapped. I was with these men for 6 hours, and I escaped. And I stole their car keys and I drove myself to the police. Because if there's any ladies watching, a knight in white shining armor is not coming to get you. You have to know how to get out of any situation you find yourself in. So I saw the car keys. I get a hold of the car keys, made a run for it, stole their car, drove myself to the police, walked in, literally, here's the keys to the car I just stole. Do you want to know what happened to me today? And the police didn't believe me. And that's very common with victims of domestic violence. The police don't believe you. They thought I made the whole thing up in retaliation to what he did with my daughter, because that was just, the week before. And we were in the police station. Everyone in town knew who I was. So I had to go into hiding. They said, oh, well, if you still want to go get him on Monday, we'll go get him. So I said, great. How do I keep my children alive over the weekend? So at that point, I had 2 kids in junior high and 1 kid downtown at Loyola University in Chicago. So we all had to go in hiding for the weekend. And then on Monday, they went and arrested him. So they kept him for 72 hours. And in that 72 hours, I moved. Me and the 2 younger kids moved, and the kid at Loyola moved, and then I had 3 cars. I had to sell 3 cars and buy 3 new cars, and it's just like amazing. It's like, you did what in a day? That's what I did in a day. Yeah. So we moved 2 apartments and sold 3 cars and bought 3 new cars in 72 hours before he got out.
What happened when he got out?
Well, we were gone. He couldn't find us. But this is going back to the, like right now in Chicago, there's a catch and release program. So he would have gotten arrested and then right back out 2 hours later. So thank God he was there for 2 days. That gave me time to pack and move. So he got out. It took me 3 years to put him in jail. I mean, I lost my job. I was the Chicago Butler rep. I was just selling Butler toothbrushes to all the dentists. And so I lost my job, and it was like we were being hunted. I mean, you couldn't, I didn't leave the house for 5 months without my mom or my brother. And the only place I went was the doctor or court. So my mom and my brother had to come and pick me up and take me to court. So I didn't leave the house without a bodyguard. I had 2 teenage kids who were going crazy because, of course, they wanted to run the neighborhood and I wouldn't let them. So you put a damper on the lifestyle, but this is all what happens to the victim. I mean, I had the expense of moving. I had the expense of swapping out the cars, and I had a kid in college that was in a dorm that had to move into another dorm. So now the college was all involved. So many different layers of protection had to be put in place. So we finally got him in jail and all, but after that, the day after the kidnapping, I had to take a trauma test at the hospital, and I tested out at the highest category that human could be traumatized. That was my category. Okay, that's where we started from. That level of stress and trauma. So when we started the healing process, which of course was major therapy, and everybody wanted to give me pills. Oh, here's a prescription. I want talk therapy. I don't want to take any pills. So I did a lot of talk therapy. And my kids had to go to counseling. He went to jail for 10 years. We went to therapy for 10 years. I mean, it wasn't just over. So 20 years later, I still go to a chiropractor because I was restrained in the back seat with my head crooked. I can't even turn my head. With my head crooked sideways, that I still have to go get adjustments. So these are lifelong things that are going on for me because of one day 22 years ago. So that's the healing part of it. So when I was finished with therapy, first you go 7 days a week, then 6, 5, 4, 3, then you go check in once a month and all that. But then I started college, and then I became a domestic violence advocate and a sexual assault advocate, just to start helping other women that have been through something similar. But what I did after that, I was 40. This all happened when I was 41. When I was 49, I started college. I was a freshman at DePaul University, when I was 49 years old. So I got my master's degree when I was 58. So that you come full circle. A lot of people, when you're a victim of a violent crime, it's all poor me, I'm a victim. And then you wake up one day and say, I'm not a victim anymore, I'm a survivor. And a lot of people are comfortable staying there. But then there's the third level, transcendence. And these are the people that go back and teach and coach and train other people to make sure it doesn't happen to them. So basically, my whole life now is teaching safety. I'm a certified safety trainer with the NRA, and that was a pretty heavy certification to get. So I'm heavily vetted. But everything I do is about keeping people safe. Safe in your personal life, safe in your professional life, workplace safety.
You know, that's really one of those. You tell that story, and you're talking about, you know, I when you said that they wanted to give you drugs, I mean, you were in a situation where that wasn't an option. You had to be loosened. You had somebody out there that wanted you dead.
Right. Mm-hmm.
That
really
their livelihood depended on you not being there. Your children's safety depended on you being there. Mm-hmm. So it's just it's an amazing story. It really is. So I wanted to bring back up the look you offer. I was wondering if maybe you could go through and you could give us a little bit of explanation on each one of these courses.
Okay, well, the sexual harassment prevention training is pretty standard, and it's mandated in 8 states. And now what I'm finding is that people are calling me from non-mandated states saying, yeah, but I don't care that it's not mandated. I think it's important, and I want my employees to have it. So that is just basic kind, and it really is. If you were raised with manners and common courtesy, you know, if you can't say it to your mother, don't say it to a woman at work. That's what it boils down to. But that is like the do's and don'ts of how to act at work. The bystander intervention, that class is because if something is happening at work, when do you keep your mouth shut? When do you get involved? When is it your business? When is it not your business? Mandated reporter is for clinicians. If you're working with a child and you suspect trafficking or abuse or sexual abuse or physical abuse or anything, you are mandated to tell somebody. Okay, for minors, you are mandated to tell somebody. Now, I've got a lot of doctors who have abused adult women in their chair. And I'm like, well, then you ask. This is a safe place. You can always come here. We're going to help you. Do you want me to call somebody for you? Okay. So, and then the bias training, the bias training is new this year. And that's what everybody, you think, oh, well, I'm not racist, but everything has to do with the block you grew up, where you grew up. Sometimes you really think that you're okay, but some of the attitudes and things that you have from your childhood, you're not okay. So that's really just being inclusive and appreciating and working with everybody as they are, not because, oh, they look like this, so they should act like that. That's not always the case. And then the domestic violence awareness. What do you do if one of your employees comes in with a black eye? I mean, really, what do you do, right? Is it your business? Is it not your business? And you are never, as a business owner, you're never going to get the phone call, I have a black eye, I have to stay home for 3 days. Well, now as a business owner, you're down an employee for 3 days. You're going to be down production. So you're the one that's losing money because you have employees that are getting beat up at home and they're not coming in work. Right? And then when violence comes to work, that's everybody likes that class. That just describes the 4 different types of violence and what to do when trouble shows up at your door. And that is such an important class for business owners and supervisors, because when trouble comes in your front door at work, the top man there, the top boss or the highest ranking person is the one that has to call the shots and deal with it. So what do you do under these situations? And then custom presentations. I have 20 years experience. So whatever you need your group to hear, I can make a program for you. I just had a big company just called and asked me to write a class on human trafficking for them. So once I have that written, that'll be offered as well. It's not complete yet.
Well, these are great, and this isn't only a training that you do for businesses. You also help individuals themselves. Yes.
Yes, I'm a life coach. I'm a certified life coach. People certainly hire me to I'm stuck against the wall and I need to move forward, and I can work independently with people as well in their personal lives as well as business lives. And I've got personal business coaching as well. And these are for offices that really just are a mess and they need a do-over. And we just really go in there and we go through everything. Sometimes we have to let people go and bring more people on, and it's a transition period. And I work with the business owner all through that.
You and I were talking about you're going to be starting up business coaching once a month. You want to tell us a little bit about that?
Okay, so all these classes are available once a month, and they're on set days, and I do it on like a Wednesday, Friday, and Saturday at different times. So, like some people, like we don't work on Wednesday. Okay, we'll take it on Friday. So a lot of the classes are at 4 o'clock in the afternoon. And what I suggest people do is like close your business an hour early, order your pizza, grab a laptop, and go in the lunchroom and just get the class done.
And that was something about, let me go on ahead and bring this back up here. All of these, if you look at like the bystander intervention, this is 1 credit hour, right? That's what
Yes,
that is.
For the people in Illinois, they need. I'm certified to give. I'm licensed by the state of Illinois to give CE credits if you're in Illinois. If you're in a different state and need CE credits, we work with other people. Like if I know somebody in that state, they can give the credits for you. So we work around that. So, but a lot of those, anybody that holds a license, the doctors, the nurses, the dentists, the hygienists, the lawyers, the insurance people, anybody that holds a license. Has different mandates state by state of what they need to renew their license.
Okay. And you and I have come together on this business coaching, the business coaching inner circle. And you've got a special offer for our community.
They're the community. If we'll tack on if you write community, what do we agree on? If you write community is the code word to get the free class when violence comes to work. So you can go on when violence comes to work and put in the code community, and you can take that class for free.
That's fantastic, and I love it. I appreciate that. I will. You and I will keep in contact, and I will be there when we do that because I really want to see that. We're just now building our this, and I actually have brought on a virtual assistant, but I finally brought somebody else on, and it looks like things are going to be getting going. And who knows, maybe someday I'll have like an actual employee here. That's kind of what we're working towards, but I mean, we are working to get there. Let's see. You have 2 types of customers. Why don't you let us know your 2 types of customers?
Okay, so the first customer, it's like, yeah, I've had the same 5 employees for 10 years, and there's no drama here. We don't, okay, fine. You don't need to pay for the whole coaching program. Pay for the class, get compliant with the state, and call me if you need me. Right. So, and then the other type of client is somebody that needs more hand-on. And actually, the Inner Circle program, that's just like hiring me as an employee. I'm in every week. There's phone calls. I go to your meetings. I work with the staff. I do one-on-ones. I got a couple offices that have problem children, should I call them, that I make sure I'm Zooming with them one-on-one and checking in with them, text message, and how you doing today, and all that, just to keep them out of trouble. Because if they cause trouble, the business owner gets sued. So if you can have a problem child on your team, I can babysit them.
Well, yeah. As much as we don't want to think that, the people that we're working with are problem children, Yeah, sometimes.
So
Can
it's not
you?
so much that they're problem children. They just sometimes don't understand the rules, and the rules are changed. See, every June we get a new generation of young women that enter the workforce, and each generation that enters the workforce is less tolerant of unacceptable behavior and more willing to file a claim.
Yeah.
These claims have skyrocketed since the Me Too movement a couple years ago. Claims in the United States have been way up. So business owners have to say, oh, that's not going to happen to me, and think, what do I do? Before every emergency, there's a chance to plan. What is your plan? What if this happens to you? And it's not usually, see, a lot of business owners says, oh, you're just going to help my team report me. No, my job is to protect the business owner. And the business owners usually behave because they're protecting their business. It's usually a customer or a patient that is bothering the young woman.
Well, a lot of times, and this is not saying for every man in the United States or in the world, okay, but a lot of times we don't want to go out there and do anything like that because we want to protect everyone around us. There are certain people in the United States that just don't give a damn, apparently, but there's a lot of times that the business owners will say, hey, look, I want to keep my nose as clean as possible. My company means everything to me. My family means something to me. And I mean, look, a misrepresented charge is just as damaging as an actual charge at times, because then you got to go through and you got to prove that, hey, I did nothing wrong. And if you do, like you said, and if you have cameras to where, you know what, people are going to look, it's hard to beat a camera where you're sitting there and they can see you didn't do nothing wrong. It's hard to beat that.
But the gossip is what's going to destroy your business. Once it hits social media of the group of the town where you work, you're going to lose 40% of business overnight. It's going to take you 5 years to get that business back. So I tell my business owners, do you have 2 years worth of lawyer, 2 years worth of all the fines, plus 5 years of half pay put away? So nobody has that kind of, I mean, it's just a lot. It just costs so much money to have a claim. And if it's a false claim, it doesn't matter. Once it hits the internet, you're still, why? Because every woman in the car, they're at their red light and they're looking at your building. Oh, good thing we don't go there. We're not going to shop there anymore. They don't treat the women. 5 years later, you're still every time. So.
Yeah. And look, it's, I like to think of it as the Johnny Dangerously, bird line. I don't know if you ever saw this, but it started out as one thing, and then by the time it got to the end of the line, it was something completely different, but there's, once something gets out there, you have no control of it. And so you need to make sure that you can try to control what is getting out there. And if you protect yourself, you've got a hell of a lot better chance than if it gets out there without you being able to say, hey, stop. We're not doing anything wrong here.
Put cameras anywhere, especially if you have a private office and you bring team members into your office. I was in an office with a man once. I'm looking around. I said, do you bring the young women in here and shut the door? Oh, yeah. Like, no cameras. Cameras they don't need to record your audio. Nobody's going to listen to your phone calls, but just have the camera running in the background. People behave better when they see the cameras.
Well, they know that they're not going to be able to get away with everything at that point.
And as a business owner, it's your job to protect. And if you ever have a young woman in your office come in and say, hey, this customer, this patient is a creep, I don't want to be near him, it's your job to have them switch places or do whatever you need to do. I don't care if you stand there yourself while they get the job done. It's your job as a business owner to protect your staff and make sure they have a safe environment to work.
And look, and as a business owner, that's just it. We want people to want to come and work for us. We don't want people to sit there and second guess. Well, I wanted to come and work for you, but I heard that you let this go on, and I'm not sure if I'm comfortable with that. So, Can you explain I'm going to say SALUS, SALUS training?
Yes.
What is that?
SALUS training. SALUS is Greek. We're the lawyers. We're the doctors out there. Get your Greek out. SALUS is a Greek word for safety. SALUS training systems, safety training systems. Everything I do is about how to stay safe. So
Well, that's
SALUS
awesome.
training system is, so the first company was Illinois Sexual Harassment Prevention Training. I had one town and one class. That lasted not even a year. So now the new company is SALUS Training Systems. We have more classes. We offer more. We have got coaching programs, and it's just a more, everything goes under the McPhee coaching umbrella.
And just to let everybody know, Deb is doing some changes to her website. So if you ever get there and the website is not up and running, check back with her. But I mean, you can always, right. Once again, we're going to put her phone number up again. But I mean, if there's ever any time that you need to talk to her, you can always get a hold of her through us. I will definitely connect you because I really want to see this training get out there. I want to see this training get out more. I think one of the things that you really said that really struck a nerve with me is that, the Me Too movement, I'm not going to blame anything on the Me Too movement. It's just people change throughout time. What was okay, I couldn't imagine walking into a place right now and I was watching a show earlier that I loved 6 years ago, and he called someone a chick, and I'm like, no, that ain't gonna happen. I like my eyes not blackened.
Right. And when you said it was okay years ago, it was never okay. Women just were getting fired. I was fired for I had a boss that didn't treat me well, and I went to HR and they fired me. Well, there's a law now that says you can't be fired for reporting sexual harassment. But years ago, that
they suffer ramifications for turning a boss in. Where do they go? Because you know that you can't be fired for it, but boy, your life turned upside down because of it.
Yes. We had one woman who was instigating inappropriate behavior in the lunchroom. Everybody thought it was funny. Oh, ha, ha, ha. And then she started, the guy started with her, and it was a factory, and they started, teasing her, and she went right to HR. And so by the time after the fact, to try to clean up the mess, they said, oh, well, 3 weeks ago, she did. I said, nobody reported her inappropriate behavior 3 weeks ago. In fact, you rather enjoyed it. She's reporting your inappropriate behavior. So the owner of the company had to fire the 3 men. Her job was safe, and he had to write a check to get her to shut up. So from the owner's point of view, he says, I'm down my 3 strongest factory workers going into Christmas. This one gets to keep her job while she leisurely does the minimum and looks for a new job elsewhere. And I had to write a check. So who lost that day? The business owner, because he had employees in a lunchroom that couldn't behave like adults.
Yeah, and guys, in sports talk, that's the person, the initial crime, you never get caught. It's the retaliation that you get caught. It's kind of one of those things right there. Right. So, Deb, first off, I want to thank you so much for coming back on. And we're going to announce as soon as the trainings start coming back online, as soon as we get those up. Once again, if you use and give her a little bit of time to do this, but when you sign up, if you put the code word community in there, you're going to get a class for free, and that class is the office drama.
When violence comes to work.
When violence comes to work. You're going to get that one for absolutely free. So when you sign up, use the code word community, and you're going to get When Violence Comes to Work absolutely free as just trying to get to know how serious this is, because this is not, this isn't a joke. This really isn't a joke. And I mean, this is something that we need to take care of.
And can I say one more thing? A lot of people say, "Oh, we did our training online. We're done." When you do your training online, I really advocate for a live person to do the training, because you have to have a phone number for your employees to call somebody when something's wrong. Okay.
Yeah.
So we do it online, and the slide comes up from the state. Got a problem? Call us right here. Well, you're just teaching your employees to call the state, and once the state knows there's a problem, they're going to come back and sue you. So you're teaching your employees how to sue you. You have to have a minute. Yeah, I do it like this. A lot of people have an OSHA person, especially the doctors and stuff. You got an OSHA person on speed dial in case you get a citation. Well, now you need somebody like me on speed dial in case something goes wrong. So when the first time somebody walks into your office and says, "Hey, I don't like customer John," then you got to fix it. You got to fix it. And if you're too busy or not equipped or don't want to deal with it, let me wear that hat for you. I can just come in and make it go away. Yeah.
Introducing Shop, Click, and Pick, the simplest way to support those doing good in communities everywhere. We understand that shopping is a necessity, but with a slight adjustment, you can make a huge difference without spending any extra money. Here's how it works. Please visit communitypayitforward.us and navigate to the Find Your Partners tab. Discover our verified